Hey everyone, it's Rose. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're doing the mid-year book freakout tag. The first question is, what is the best book that you've read so far this year? And for me, the best book that I've read so far this year is Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. This one is the most recent book that I've read, and it's been a week already, and I'm still like thinking about this book all the time, and it was just that good. Okay, I mentioned in my recent reads video that it was chef's kiss quality, because it really is. The second question is, what is the best sequel that you've read so far this year? And I haven't started any series yet, so I don't have an answer for this question. The next question is, what is a book that you haven't read yet but you want to? For this one, I'm going to go with The Gravity of Us by Phil Stamper. This one is a male-male romance about these two boys whose parents work for NASA, and that's really all I know about this book. I know there's something about one of them being like a journalist or something, but that's really all I know. The fourth question is, what is your most anticipated book for the second half of the year? And for this one, I'm going to go with Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. I am so excited for this book, and we have less than a month until it comes out. And I think it's kind of funny that this one is the fourth question and it comes out on August 4th. I don't know why I find that funny, but I do. The next question is, what is the biggest disappointment so far this year? And for this one, I'm gonna go with The Silence Between Us by Alison Gervais. I think I went into this book with like super high expectations, and then it didn't like deliver in the areas that I wanted. Like, it was not really emotional, and I think I was thinking it was going to be emotional, but yeah, that book just did not do it. Like, that one, it was not it. The next question is, what has been the biggest surprise this year? And for this one, I'm going to go with Eleanor in Park by Rainbow Rowell. This one, I think it's surprising how she decided to end the book. To this day, it still makes me upset how she decided to end it, but I can also understand why she ended it that way. But it was so surprising to me, and I was like, what? Like, where is the rest of the book at? The next question is, who is your newest favorite author? And my new favorite author is Colleen Hoover. Obviously, Regretting You. I love that book. I loved the writing in that book. It was so beautiful, and I really want to read It Ends With Us and All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. She's got a ton of other books out, but those are the two that I want to read the most. The next question is, who is your new fictional crush? Mine is Jonah from Regretting You. In the first half of the book, he didn't really like say much, but then like in the second half, he, like, everything he said and everything he did was just so good. Like, he was kind of an asshole for like 20 minutes, but we forgive him. And he's got a son named Elijah, and the two of them are just like perfect for each other, and I love it so much. The next question is, who is your new favorite character? And I don't think I have an answer for this one. I've definitely hated some characters, and I've related to some of them, but I don't think there's one that like sticks out to me over the rest of them. The next question is, what is a book that made you cry? And for this one, I'm gonna go with Regretting You. I did not like bawl my eyes out, but I did tear up quite a bit. The next question is, what is a book that made you happy? And for this one, I'm gonna go with The 5-Year Plan. Now, I did say that this book was not what I wanted it to be, and it was kind of disappointing, but it still made me like generally happy, I guess. Like, I was like smiling and laughing a lot while I was reading it. The only reason why like I didn't like it that much is because it wasn't emotional. So same thing with The Silence Between Us. The 5-Year Plan did not like deliver in the sad department that I was expecting it to. Like, I was expecting this one to be a very emotional read, and it just wasn't. like the only emotion that I felt reading this was happy, and I was kind of mad about that. But the next question is, what is your favorite film adaptation that you've seen this year? And I'm gonna go with Coraline by Neil Gaiman. Like, this book was so fun to read, and the movie is so fun to watch. It's actually one of my favorite movies. And the score is genius. Like, I love it so much. The next question is, what is your favorite review from this year? Whether it was for BookTube or a written one for like Goodreads or something. And I don't have a favorite. Yeah. The next question is, what is the most beautiful book that you've bought this year? And for this one, I'm going to go with The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. Like, look at these colors, okay? And it's just gorgeous. Like, I love this cover so much. And also the spine is really pretty too. Like, I just love this shade of blue and how the blue like fades into this like deep purple. Like, it's so good. And the last question is, what books do you still need to read by the end of this year? And I feel like everyone's answer is gonna be like a lot, but relatable. At the beginning of 2020, I made like a TBR for the whole year, and I would like read one book from the TBR each month. Needless to say, I have not been doing that. And so I basically need to read the entirety of my 2020 TBR, and I also need to read my Owl Crate books, because I've been subscribed to Owl Crate for like a whole year and I have not read any of the books that I've received from them. So that doesn't make me a very good Owl Crate subscriber, and so going into the second half of the year, I am making it an official goal. Like, I'm gonna write it down in my reading journal and everything. I'm making it a goal to read at least 3 or 4 Owl Crate books before the end of the year, because... So while we're doing this freak out about our reading this year, I thought I would just touch on my reading goals that I set for myself at the beginning of the year. Just kind of like look at my progress and see how I'm doing so far. So I had given myself 6 goals, and it looks like so far I've already met 3 of them, which is good. I've read at least 2 nonfiction books. I read The Phantom Prince and The Science of Monsters, and there was another one, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, and I read a poetry collection. I've also checked out a substantial amount of books from my library, so I marked that one off as well. And then I've reread quite a few of my favorites this year. I had only planned on reading 4, and I selected the 4 that I was planning on reading, but then I ended up reading like a bunch of other books that I love, so I just checked that one off as well. So the only 2 goals that I have left are to meet my goal of 25. Right now I've read 22 books, so I'll be able to cross that off by the end of this month. And then I have to read more genres. I don't know like what genres I've read so far, because I haven't like looked at that, and so I don't know. And then the last goal that I still need to complete is to read 2 classics, and I think that one is the one that's going to be the hardest for me to complete, because I don't really want to read any classics as of right now. Like, I understand that they're classic novels and they're important, and even if they're not important, they're just like really good and you're missing out. But I don't think that my incompetent self would be able to understand like proper English, because classics are old, which means like the writing and like the words and like the way people speak is so different than how we speak today, and I'm just not used to it. Like, do you get what I'm saying? I hope somebody understands where I'm coming from and why I'm kind of intimidated to read a classic novel. But yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that one this year, because also I'm a slacker and I don't really want to do that, you know? Anyways, speaking of my reading journal, this is my reading journal, and I know that some people do like reading journal flip throughs, And so let me know if that is something that you would be interested in. There's not really much to look at just because like I don't do anything like fancy or like creative. I do like the bare minimum, just enough to keep track of everything. Like I don't do like very artistic doodles on the side of my pages. Like, you know how some people will do their journals and they have like a spread of the whole month and they'll do like a theme for each month. Like I don't do that just because I'm not creative or artistic. But yeah, if flipping through my reading journal is something that is of interest to you, let me know. So that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what your favorite book so far this year is, or what the most disappointing book is for you this year. Do you have a goal for yourself for the second half of the year? If you do, let me know what it is. If you don't, I encourage you to make one. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.